Toxic masculinity.
Congressman marches National Guard to Republican Greene's office. Representative.
Yes, Marjorie Greene. So Marjorie Greene said something that was interpreted as being stupid, quote unquote. Right? She basically she's people are saying that she didn't know that that Guam was an American territory. She thought it was a foreign country. That's not actually clear to me that she didn't know that Guam was that Guam was an American territory. She may have known that. What she did was she listed off, from what I understand, I read this, I didn't actually see her say it. She read off a list of countries that we give money to that we probably shouldn't. And she said, why are we giving money to these countries? Let's just stop giving money to these countries. And Guam was one of them. Guam's a U.S. territory. But the thing is, we probably shouldn't be giving any money to Guam either. But we have troops stationed on Guam. It's like, I think there's a military base there. So this guy, to try, as like a publicity stunt, I'll go ahead and play this because it's really weird. Let me just play. Okay, so like the music and everything, it's very, very weird. It's weird and it's cringy and it's weird. And I this guy is a creep. So this guy, what the heck is his name? All right, let me read some of this article here for you. Um, Uniformed members of the let me switch to the other thing. Uniformed members of the Guam National Guard marched on the Capitol office of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene Monday in response to her having erroneously claimed last month that the U.S. territory was a foreign country. A fierce backlash erupted online over the use of the military for the political stunt, which is a violation of Defense Department regulations. Well, that is the really egregious thing, is that there was this Democrat congressman, and he was like, "Hey, let's go mess with this Republican congressman." And he brought a bunch of military officers to her office. I mean, I know it was kind of supposed to be just like a funny prank, but it was just unbelievably stupid. He's just doing it to get attention on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. But like, and I guess you could make the argument that all publicity is good publicity, but now people just hate him, like seriously hate him, and he's got his own problems because I think he's like he's being investigated on ethics violations for like stealing campaign funds and doing all this kind of crazy. He had like an affair with one of the people in his office. Which, if he's single, I never really thought that inter-office dating was such a big deal, but if he's married, probably a bit of a problem. Let's see here. During an unannounced visit led by Guam's only congressional delegate, Representative Michael San Nicolas, more than 20 Guam National Guard troops briefly met with one of Greene's aides who stated the Congresswoman was not presently in her office. 3-minute clip documenting the event was, they probably should have planned it when she was there. It probably would have been a good idea. If you're going to plan a stunt, at least do it when the person's there. A 3-minute clip documenting the event was posted later that day showing San Nicolas delivering a basket of Chamorro chip cookies, a staple dessert enjoyed by Guamanians. They're called Guamanians. I think they should be called Guamaniacs. I think that should be the name of the people of Guam. Along with a book about the island's history. Oh, just shut up and die. What a smug a-hole. What a piece of trash. Shortly thereafter, prominent figures, as well as a flurry of appalled Twitter users, took to social media to voice their dismay. Brian Dean Wright, who's one of my personal favorites, he said that we should execute Comey and Struck and Brennan, James Comey. I love that. I think that was him. Yeah, he said that they should be executed. He goes, I think they should get the death penalty. And he goes, and I'll tell you what. He goes, I'll pull the switch. I love that guy. Love that guy. Anyway, right. Okay. So he says, we are witnessing the unabashed politicization of our military in violation of law and DOD regulations. We stop this or America is done. No free nation lasts when this stuff becomes the norm. And the really weird thing about this is they're really politicizing the military right now. They've a lot of the left leftist politicians, like I don't know who's doing this. I assume it's Pelosi. She's been encouraging members of the military to make videos that are critical of like Tucker Carlson and things like that. I mean, it's a flippin' weird thing that's going on right now. The military is supposed to keep their mouths shut with regard to partisan political issues. They're supposed to be the military. We're all supposed to support the military, left or right. So when you get a bunch of high-profile military people coming out and basically saying we don't like these Republicans and Republican ideas and Republican stuff, it's a bit of a problem, you know. I mean, for the most part, the military is Republican, and for the most part, those Republicans keep their mouths shut on political issues. You know, they sometimes have to voice their opinion when it's issues regarding the military. But I do think that the left is making a push to politicize the military against conservatives, which is a really weird thing to do, unless you're trying to do something nefarious, maybe. But one thing that this gives us an opportunity to do is let's see here. Oh, look at that adorable panda. Wow, that's beautiful. Sorry, I'll cover that up whilst I'm looking here. So let me go to YouTube and search for the most egregious thing ever said by a congressman about Guam. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there was once a congressman. His name is Hank Johnson. And this is the funniest thing ever said by any congressman ever, because it is unbelievably stupid. It's the way 6-year-olds think. Not even 6-year-olds, probably like 3-year-olds. This is the way 3-year-olds think islands work. This guy, you know what? I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna play it, and we'll see what you guys think about it. This is pretty funny. You may have watched this before, but it's pretty funny. No, hold on.
Level is what, 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000.
This bill.
That
Is he on drugs?
No, no, he's just really stupid. My fear is that the whole island will
he talks like I do.
capsize. You know what really makes that funny, actually, and I never show this on when I show his bit, and I should always show this full video whenever I do it, because I do put this on my show occasionally. The funniest thing about that is how precise he's trying to be with the dimensions.
24
Yeah, he's like,
miles
from
long.
what I understand through my scientific calculations, is that at its slightest wide point, it is only approximately a fraction of 36 feet. I mean, the guy, oh my God, he's like trying to sound smart. Clearly, he's trying to sound knowledgeable and intelligent. And then he says, the reason he's providing him with all these numbers is to ask him to estimate whether or not the island will capsize. Because islands, they work like icebergs, really. They're just these big floating things in the ocean. Good God. I wonder why he thinks that islands stay in one place. It's maybe he thinks they're tethered to the floor of the sea or something. I don't know. Anyway, all right, we can move on to the next story though.
That's crazy.
But that's pretty funny. Anyway, do you have anything to say about Guam, darling?
No.
Anyway, that the guy that's the representative from Guam, total a-hole, and he's being investigated for ethics violations, so screw him anyway. And but you know what? They're probably going to make Guam into a state soon. So I don't know, whatever.
Hope
Marjorie
not.
Taylor Greene. So what? She said something that was interpreted as a mistake. I don't know if it really was a mistake. I don't know if she didn't know that Guam was a territory. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done with that story. I had my fun. Democrats are stupider than Republicans. That's the moral of the story. All right, moving on.
Last story. Illegal immigrants run meth lab near elementary school.
Yeah, I didn't have time to read this article, but let's have a look at it.
Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.